The alien woman froze when the human whispered, "You're beautiful." Her bioluminescent veins dimmed in shock, the glow along her cheekbones fading to a shy violet. Among her people, such a statement wasn't merely a compliment. It was a declaration. And declarations had consequences. Kai didn't know that, of course. He stood before her with the kind of soft, reckless bravery only humans seemed capable of, his voice cracking slightly as though unsure of its own courage. Alia tried to speak, but the words tangled in her throat. She folded her secondary arms across her torso, a defensive gesture that hid the flutter in her chest. Even her carapace felt warm. "You don't have to say anything," Kai added quickly. I just wanted you to know." The confession hung in the air like gravity itself had paused to listen. They were alone in the observation dome of the starship Mariner 9. The rest of the crew asleep, or pretending to be. Beyond the glass, the nebula they were surveying billowed in clouds of rose-gold plasma. Alia usually found comfort in it. Tonight, she could hardly breathe. "Human," she whispered, the words soft as starlight. "You should not say things like that to someone like me." Kai smiled gently. "Why not?" "Because," she wanted to say, "I am not like you. Because my people arrived as refugees after the collapse. Because even now, humans whisper about us in corridors, too tall, too strange, too other. Because my bones glow in the dark, and my eyes reflect light like polished moons. Because my heart has 3 chambers, and for the first time in all my years, all 3 are trembling at once." But she said none of that. Instead, she said, "I am dangerous." "Everyone is dangerous." Kai shrugged lightly. "Some people just hide it better." Alia blinked slowly, her silver pupils widening. "Are you not afraid of me?" He took a step closer. "No. Should I be?" Her glow flickered. "Yes." Kai chuckled soft, warm, unaware that the sound made her feel like her exoskeleton might melt. "Then I'll be careful." That was the problem. Humans were not careful. Alia retreated to the far side of the dome, though it was barely 10 paces. Kai didn't follow. He knew her well enough not to push. He had been partners on this research mission for nearly 4 months, charting the nebula's magnetic wave patterns. Somewhere between shared rations, night shift conversations, and accidental laughter, something had grown between them, something fragile and impossible. She touched the glass wall and let the cold seep into her palms. "My people do not love the way yours do," she murmured. Kai's reflection appeared beside hers, careful to keep a respectful distance. "Then tell me how you love." Alia hesitated. The truth was intimate, more intimate than anything she'd ever shared with anyone outside her species. But Kai was patient, and patience was a rare gift. "We love with bindings," she said slowly. "When one of us chooses another, our bioluminescence synchronizes with theirs. It is involuntary, permanent." "Permanent," he echoed. "Yes. If I accepted your declaration, you would glow as I glow. Your heartbeat would echo mine. It is considered fate-making." She turned to face him fully. "Humans do not want things to be permanent." Kai's gaze softened. "You don't know what I want." She clicked her mandibles softly, a nervous habit. "Then tell me." He didn't speak right away. Instead, he stepped closer just 1 pace, but it was enough for her chest to tighten. "What I want," he said slowly, "is to understand you. All of you, even the parts that scare me a little." "That should scare you a lot," she corrected. But it came out almost fond. "Okay," he conceded. "Maybe a lot." They both laughed, a small, unsteady sound, but shared. When Alia spoke again, her voice was softer. "When you said I was beautiful, did you mean it?" Kai's lips parted in surprise. "Of course I meant it." "Why? No one's ever asked me that before." "I am not interested in human women's behavior," she said bluntly. "I am interested in yours." He rubbed the back of his neck. "Then I guess, because you're you. It's not just your face or your glow or your eyes, though those are incredible, but because of how you think, how you listen, how you take care of the crew when you pretend you're just following protocol. Because when you look at the stars, you look like you're remembering something ancient and amazing, and every time I see it, I feel lucky just to be standing next to you." Alia stared at him, Her glow rose, sun-controlled, involuntary, blooming down her arms in pale spirals. Kai almost reached out before catching himself. "Is that okay?" she swallowed. "It is not dangerous, only overwhelming. For you, for both of us." She stepped closer without thinking. Her instincts reached for him, drawn to his steady warmth, to the honesty in his scent. Her species chose mates based on truth sense. Lies had a taste. Kai tasted like starlight and fear and sincerity. It made her dizzy. "Kai," she said slowly, "if you say things like this again, I may not be able to stop the binding process." "Maybe I don't want you to stop it?" Her heart stuttered. "You do not understand what you are saying, so help me understand." There it was again, human stubbornness wrapped in tenderness. She exhaled a trembling breath. "You would change," she warned. "Your body would glow. Your lifespan might extend. Your emotions would become linked with mine. If I suffered, you would feel it. If I died, the bond could break you. My people do not enter such unions lightly. And do your people choose humans?" "Never," she admitted. "Until now." Kai's eyes widened. "So you know," she cut in quickly, her glow flashing with embarrassment. "I have not accepted anything. I am only stating that. I've never encountered a human whose truth scent aligned so closely with mine." He grinned softly. "It sounds like you're saying you might like me." "That is not what I said," she protested. "But is it true?" Alia looked away. The nebula shimmered in the glass. Her reflection beside Kai's looked surreal, too. Figures from different worlds standing side by side, as though fate had stitched them together in a moment of cosmic humor. She whispered, "Yes." Silence settled, charged, bright, dangerous. Kai moved closer until their arms nearly brushed. "Then let me try something. If it's too much, tell me to stop." She nodded, breath caught. He raised a hand, slowly, carefully, and touched her cheek. Not the carapace along her jaw, but the soft place below her eye, where her glow was strongest. She stiffened at the contact. No one touched her there. It was the most sensitive place on her body, the place where bonds ignited. Kai's thumb moved gently. Alia's glow burst like sunrise. "Kai," she gasped, "she must stop. I cannot control." But then something even more impossible happened. He glowed, not bright, not alien, but faint. Faint enough to question, strong enough to confirm. A soft shimmer beneath his skin, his pulse visible like warm embers. Alia stumbled back. No, this is impossible. Humans cannot. Your biology is not compatible." Kai stared at his own hands, stunned. "What does this mean?" "It means the binding has begun," she whispered, horrified and awestruck. "But I did not initiate it. I did not choose." Kai swallowed hard. "I did." She froze. "You? What?" "When I told you you were beautiful," he said quietly, "I meant it in the human way. But I also meant it in your way. I didn't know how your people do it, but I knew what I felt." Alia's knees nearly buckled. "You fool," she breathed. "Yeah," he said with a shaky laugh. "That tracks." She touched his glowing hand, unable to stop herself. The glow strengthened in both of them. "We cannot undo this," she warned softly. "I don't want to. You will live longer now, perhaps centuries. You will feel what I feel, I know. If I die, I'll face that when it comes, and the crew will adjust. And your people will learn." Alia stared at him in wonder and fear. "Humans are reckless." "And your people," Kai said, entwining their fingers, "are brave." Her glow spread to her chest, brighter than any nebula behind them. She leaned forward until her forehead touched his, a gesture of her kind's deepest trust. "Kai," she whispered, "you are beautiful." He laughed softly. "I'll take it. It's binding sealed." Two pulses synchronized, two worlds shifted, and in the quiet, glowing dawn of the observation dome, an alien and a human changed the shape of the universe with nothing more than a whisper. #AlienLove. #FirstLove.